Should be going live.
Going
I'm
live?
refreshing. I'm trying to refresh and see. Oh yeah, sure enough, it says live. I'll look at that, and now I have the
I'm
I can look at the chat.
alive. See ya. Come at me.
Yeah, you are. Um, Twitch did something so that when I went to your channel, it showed me like a profile page instead of like the not broadcasting window. So I don't know if it'll take a while for people to get here
Well,
or not.
I will say
So.
this to Aaron's embarrassment. Last week he was watching and he was like, "Oh, I would hear you laugh, and then it wouldn't happen on stream." And I tried to type in chat, and it wasn't. He was watching an old broadcast, which to him I said, "Hey, my hair's green now. It was purple in that video you were watching." And he was just like, "Here, going, uh huh." A lot of things are starting to make sense now.
He just had a hard, he was tired, he had a hard situation.
It
Look,
was
it's all right.
life is hard. It was just extremely funny.
It is very funny. It's very funny.
Uh,
It's
listen,
three people, including me and you. So yeah, we should probably vamp for a bit, I suppose.
what could there possibly be to vamp about? Oh,
You want to talk about bug snacks? Is that it?
I do enjoy me some bug snacks.
Hi, RD. RD's here.
RD is
RD,
the most punctual guest I've ever or follower we have.
even though it's 2 in the goddamn morning for you.
Oh God.
Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, the fact is that I announced a video game yesterday.
Yeah, Kevin is cool. Kevin hangs out with us, which makes him very cool. But Kevin
Well,
also makes video games and like real video games that get
and
announced with PS5.
right, and also congratulations on announcing a video game yesterday. You don't
Thank you
have
very much.
self-aggrandizing Stephanie.
I mean, I was gonna take the way of Kevin is so blessed to hang out with us, but we could take the other approach I normally take with Kevin, which is Kevin, you're so cool. Thank you for hanging out with our our measly beings.
So talk about bug snacks.
Yeah, let's talk about bug snacks. I don't even know what to talk about. What do you want? What do you want?
Well, it's about bugs and snacks and things that are legally distinct from Muppets, right? Am I?
That's true. That's true. And they're called grumpuses. Apparently, the internet has taken to calling them walruses right now.
I think is the tusks, right?
Yeah, for sure, it's the tusks. And
Yeah.
because we chose not to say the name of their species in the trailer because it wasn't relevant.
There is a too much information factor. I think if you
Oh
had run
yeah,
that whole thing, it
Yeah.
would have been too much.
because
First of all,
like
introduce.
because like as far as proper nouns go, we wanted them to know what bug snacks are, and we can't go throwing in other species that aren't bug snacks to confuse the issue.
Indeed, yes, it would be far too much.
But yeah, I mean, for the unaware, bug snacks are half bug, half snack. You try to catch them in your trap and feed them to your friends.
And feed them indeed you do. And then they get
Absolutely,
fun limbs. You get to pick the limbs that get fun, but they are fun.
that's true. They change into the bug snack they've eaten, which
Right.
is mildly disturbing, and a lot of people have picked up on that as well.
What is look,
Uh huh.
I don't know if whimsy can exist without some underlying disturbingness, right? Is that possible? I don't think so.
Hey, that's a good question.
Because
Like,
can I think of something whimsical that doesn't have an underlying layer of disturbingness? No. At the moment, no. Like not Kingdom Hearts. Ace Attorney, for example,
oh sure.
extremely disturbing in many ways.
Well, I'm
Death
trying.
Panel
Oh,
one,
there's got to be something, right? I guess
Fortune's disturbing.
whimsy, I guess, relies on a certain abandonment of reality, and that's always kind of dangerous.
The Princess Bride is the most whimsical thing I could think of.
The dude gets tortured so bad that he loses all of his life
That's true.
in Princess Bride.
Yes.
The scene that scared me as a child so badly.
Oh.
Only almost all of it, Michelle.
It's true, almost all, many years off of his life.
He was only mostly dead.
He's only mostly dead. Hi, everybody. Hi, Rosina. Hi, OG.
See, because for me, I was like, really the most unwhimsical part of Princess Bride is the author had a lot of emotional issues as he wrote that book and then the screenplay.
That's, I mean, outside of the narrative, I'm sure that is.
He actually had to put the whole book down right at that part. He like stopped working on it and shoved it in a drawer because he didn't know how to. He wrote up to that point where Wesley lost his life, and then didn't know what to do and got so depressed he put the book away until he could think of Mostly Dead.
It feels
Oh,
really.
wow.
That feels like a problem I'd get my dumb self into.
It doesn't have
Princess
rats,
Bride also has
Rosina.
rats. Yeah, no, they're ROUSs, but yeah,
They don't exist.
rats. Rats are disturbing? Question mark. Is that the Rosina take on it?
I mean, rats can be cute if you want.
Yeah, they're not in that one.
No.
No, not in that. Not in most things. People are very mean to rats.
I mean, to rats. Animal Crossing has some underlying disturbingness too.
Wait, what's disturbing about Animal Crossing? Let's get into that one.
So
Consumerism.
I don't play a lot of Animal Crossings. This is the first one I played. And I took issue right away with the fact that like I've moved to a pristine island which is untainted by civilization, and my goal is to sell it off as fast as possible and develop it and build houses and get humans to live there. Like that's a little bit much. And I know a lot of people are like Tom Nook and Rent, but that's not my issue. And then my other issue is like you're clearly a human. The other animals are animals. Like what does that entail? Are there dynamics there?
All right, that's fair. You got me on Animal Crossing.
And not all the animals, like the animals don't wear pants for the most part. Tom is the exception. So like there is a dichotomy because you as a people wear pants and the other animals as not people don't wear pants for the most part. And if you gift them pants, they hate them. And so how am I supposed to clear out all of my ugly pants? Throw them away, I guess. Sell them.
I just never thought I'd have the existential.
Artie says
Issue.
the hamster cage with the hamster in it right next to the humanoid hamster villager. Great example of disturbingness.
All right.
And June's issue with the cat scratch. Why is there a cat scratch when there's humanoid cats? It implies the existence of non-humanoid cats. That's a whole thing.
What if
Frogs-
humanoid cats like the cat scratch?
I have no idea. I only have one cat villager, and I put Animal Crossing down for a month and a half, and I haven't picked it back up. Because I paid off my house, so what else is there to do except for slowly and painfully terraform my pristine patch of nature that I moved to escape from civilization, terraform it to my whim. In a slow, painful way.
Hey Michelle, I'm bummed out. Hey Michelle, you've bummed me the fuck right out.
I'm sorry.
So here, how about this? What about Stardew Valley? Is that disturbing?
I can tell you something that I like. These are just things. These are not things I like dwell on. I enjoy games, right? But sometimes I get a little pang in the back of my head that's like, hey, that's a little fucked up, and I have to suppress it. Otherwise, I get bummed out like Stephanie. So, hey, that's a little fucked up. And Stardew Valley is the only way to become friends with people is to give them things.
Yeah, you got me again.
Hey, you can't be
Shit.
friends with people by talking to them or hanging out with them. You can only give them things. And this became especially painful because I married my wife. I decided to role play my Stardew Valley profile as a butch lesbian who moves away from the city to be a farmer. And so I married my beautiful wife. And now my beautiful wife like wanders around my house. My toddler is unattended, and never goes like the toddler never goes outside and never dies from household dangers. But my baby and my toddler are completely unattended throughout the day as my beautiful wife goes wherever she should, and I certainly don't take care of the kids, so we're doing terrible. And then like the only way I can communicate with my wife in a meaningful way is by giving her coffee or salads because she loves salads. I can kiss her though. You could click a button to kiss her, and that's pretty good. But if you talk to her, she's like, I fed the chickens for you. And it's like, that's nice, honey. I love you. I have auto feeder and the chickens don't need to be fed. Or like, she's like, I'm going to work on a painting today. And it's like, that's great. I talked to you 8 hours ago and you said, I'm going to work on a painting today. It's just kind of like,
Okay, but I say that.
don't think, yeah, well, that's true.
So I think I get it now. The thing that's sinister about any whimsical game is that any limitation put on a game world relative to reality is necessarily upsetting.
It's if you here's the asterisk, if you think about it too much like reality, or if you think about it too hard, right? Because like the mechanic of make friends with your friends in the town by giving them presents, great for a game, perfect, awesome. But if you start to like, how does reality work? It's like if I shoved cups of hot coffee at a person, they wouldn't be my friend. They'd be like, why do you bring me coffee every day? You know what I mean? Or a better example would be like lobsters for for that guy who lives on the beach, right? His favorite things were like blueberries and lobsters. So I would like bring him blueberries every day, one single blueberry. Here you go. That's for you, bud.
Though counterpoint, if you gave me a lobster every day, I would consider us great friends.
Yeah, that's the real Yusuke Kitago.
I mean, I was thinking, like, if somebody just, like, brought me a coffee every day and didn't require any other friendship from me, I think I'd be very fond of them.
This is why I changed it from coffee to a single blueberry, right? What if I brought you a single blueberry every day?
Yeah,
that would confuse me, yes.
I would try to figure out why are you trolling me so hard.
Which might be a way to bond, if it's like that person, they're a troll. They bring me a blueberry every day.
That's
and at
true.
this point, the blueberry harvest is from 2 years ago, yet they are still bringing me a single blueberry.
Well, our chat is bonded over Animal Crossing now, so
that's good. Yay!
Good.
Well, now it's 7:12, so we should probably get a move on, huh?
Yeah. I've had it's been it's only been 12 minutes, huh? Talked about bug snacks, had 2 existential crises. Feel like dying
also,
again.
Sprocket's the best villager, and you're all wrong.
Davy Sprocket? Yeah, I know, he's great.
Yeah, Davy Sprocket.
Anyway, guys, I don't feel good. This is Objective This. Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney, Investigators, Prosecutors, Path to whatever, playthrough. I'm Stephanie. I'm gonna drive us straight down the path.
I'm Michelle, legally distinct from a Muppet.
And I'm Kevin, and I haven't slept much.
That's real.
True.
Alright. We're gonna try to bring you the chuckles. Or dead people. Chocolate. There's chocolate. That's right. Anyway, we're gonna start part 2 of the Inherited Turnabout Beginnings, which is case 3.
We're gonna go to meet the snow lady, the cold lady.
And also, probably, Von Karma.
Woo!
He's coming.
Stephanie, are you gonna be able to say not Manfred von Karmels like you always do?
Now, the reason I ever said Manfred von Karmels is because I am incapable of saying words.
Oh, is that why?
It's not like a fun goof I do. It's something I do because I can't say Manfred von Karma usually.
But now, in this context, it's more accurate than ever.
See, that's the spirit.
Yeah.
Guys, it's almost Christmas.
Wow.
December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contest venue, Lucia's room.
Oh, a candy castle, and there are even some fairies over there.
This room seems to be structured in the same way as Master's room.
But it's nowhere near as cold.
This room also seems to have been fitted with a temperature control panel.
Oh, it's over there by that orange lamp, right?
Indeed. Let's not forget to investigate it later. Even so, this room is like something out of a fairy tale. Is this the cream-covered castle Delicia's work?
Where is Delicia?
Oh, hi, Jams!
Hi, Jams.
Oh, hi.
Also, like, hey, spoilers that Gregory dies in like 4 days. You
Who's gonna probably be Delicia?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh yeah, I guess like if you're doing Von Karma, then I should be Delicia, but I don't know if I've got a voice for that.
If you can, if you can't, then we can think of something.
Well, I don't remember what Delicia looks like.
Well, here, I'll
so-
read this until she shows up. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oi, can I help you?
She's small. She's small and
There we go.
mad.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
she's not mad.
She's Cooking Mama. Do you have something, Kevin? Or you want me to keep going?
Hello, boys. I'm Delicia Scones.
That's
No,
perfect.
I can't do that.
Oh, damn.
Oh, but she's
Okay,
native.
Tiffany, you do that.
In my native England, I'm known as Miss Delicious.
Being
Pardon
called.
my awful British accent.
That's appropriate. It's Ace Attorney. Being called.
She is the Great British Bake Off, is what she is.
She's Mary Berry. Being called a boy, even though I'm already 34, certainly a rare experience.
God, Gregory dies at 34.
Jesus.
So sad.
34 and he's got like a 10-year-old? I guess that would make sense.
Boys. Yeah, that's how real people do it. Boys, I understand you calling me that, but Mr. Edgeworth?
As far as I'm concerned, you're all boys to me, even that detective over there. My name is Bad, not Boy.
Just, how old is this woman?
Mr. Attorney, let's just finish our business here.
Right.
Oh no.
I wasn't prepared!
Too late.
Yo, what do you think you're doing? Conversing with the mere attorney? This is my man for Von Karma. It's me.
That sounds just like him.
Mr. Edgeworth, a scary man came out of the candy castle.
Von Karma.
This man is Prosecutor Von Karma?
Eve, Manny.
So, he's Von Karma. Pleased to meet you, Prosecutor Von Karma. Oh, my name is Gregory Edgeworth, first of the night, defense attorney.
Put it on the board first of the night.
Blah, I have no interest in the names of defense attorneys.
Oh, yeah, this is a good point. Boo, Manfred, boo!
Boo. Get out of here.
After all, they only exist to be crushed by me.
It's turning into The Godfather, which
It
is
It is.
but I'm kind of into
I
it.
kind of
I'm
like it.
fine with that, yeah.
What a rude man.
That piercing gape and furrowed brow. Ugh, he is even scarier than the rumors say.
Although that statement was very rude. Prosecutor Von Karma, would you allow us to investigate too?
You think I would give information to a mere defense attorney?
As I thought, it won't be that simple.
However, I'll make a special exception for this rope.
I also thought they were rivals, but I guess not.
I think
Nope.
Manfred thinks they're rivals. He only kills his rivals, you see.
I have questions, but we'll keep going.
Well, I guess for them to, like, as far as Manfred's concerned, since Gregory's the only one who gave him trouble, and since he didn't tolerate that one time, he must not have other rivals.
Yeah, he must not. There's no one else.
Well, okay, so what I was thinking, I was like, there could have been others, but they are no longer around.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
Hmm?
And they were never a real threat anyway, so...
Right. Why'd he change his mind so quickly?
You old bloodhound.
Don't call me that. My name is Bad.
I was like 20 years younger than you.
Detective speaking back to me. I admire your courage, at least. Bad, stand watch and see that they don't misbehave.
Why me?
Because it's the day of my daughter's third son's birthday.
This is the day of my Candy Castle's christening, you see. I have to get the bottle of champagne to hit against the side of it like a bolt. I will not accept you. Aren't you a cop, motherfucker?
Why me? Do your job.
Well, then I'll be investigating Gustavio's room next.
Bye, Manfred.
I'm babysitting again.
I wonder why he and Van Karma aren't investigating together. Instead of being on bad terms, it seems like they hardly know each other.
So I can tamper with evidence.
I see.
Mr. Edgeworth, now that we've got Von Karma's permission, we can continue investigating.
Yes. His manners bother me, but I'm glad we can at least continue the investigation.
Hold it. Hold it. I also need to investigate this room. I don't want you to disturbing the room, so you'll investigate after me.
What? Aren't you aren't you a cop? Didn't you do your job? Do your job.
Listen, all cops are bad, all right?
I am aware. Okay, you see my tattoo.
I feel like I should also have a scoreboard for how many times Bad is saying his name and saying his name as a pun.
That's true, yeah. Why haven't you investigated this room yet?
The detective in charge of the initial investigation was a close colleague of Von Karma. I came to take over for him, so I only got to this mansion just recently.
So that's why he and Von Karma aren't investigating together. Detective Bad, will you allow us to investigate with you like before? In doing so, you'll be able to help supervise us and ensure we don't tamper with anything.
You want me to watch you? You're a strange lawyer.
I ain't into this kinky stuff, Bad.
So, what I think we've learned, though, is that the lead investigator on this case is friends with Manfred, close with Manfred, therefore allowing Manfred to falsify and plant evidence, or even assisting him in the falsifying and planting of evidence, and Bad is here to prevent that, maybe?
Seems likely. Because I forget, is he still part of Yatagarasu at this point?
I believe so at this point, because this is when Edgeworth is a little wee baby, and Yatagarasu was functioning up until Edgeworth's first case. The first
Oh, right.
Because that was when Kay's dad died. So
Right. I guess I'm just not sure. Huh?
It might be new. The Yatagarasu might be new, or it might not exist yet.
Yeah, that was the main question, is whether he was part of it yet. But the point is, if he is, then for sure they'd want to get into Von Karma's business.
Right. So it's just like bad part of the police A versus bad part of the police B.
I
I'm always the bad part of the police.
feel like I need a lot of papers and some string back here, is how it's starting to feel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Does anyone know of when the Yatagarasu began? Put it in the chat, but for now we can keep going.
Alright.
I'll let you stick around a little longer.
Yeah, you did it, Mr. Edgeworth. You bullied a cop into letting us investigate.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Oh, thank you, Detective Bad.
OG Master Mass says this is before KG8, so it's before the Yatagrasu in formation.
Okay. But if I decide you're holding up the investigation, you'll have to leave.
Yes, I understand. Well then, let's begin the investigation. Begin investigation. Contest room, Delicia's room. Oh, that's the wrong key.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Alright, bye.
Oh fuck. Hold on.
What?
No, fuck. I don't remember how to drive the bus.
You shimmy, right? You gotta shimmy.
Well, I got a shimmy, but I forgot the keys. What are the shimmy keys? Oh, nope,
Yatagrasu forms
Oh,
5.
that's logic.
that's logic.
6.
Well, we know he's beaten to death. It's a good refresher. Okay, well,
Wow, the Yatagrasu's not around very long,
Hey,
is
guys.
what I've learned.
Oh, dang.
the keys are the arrows.
That's usual. That's classic video games. It's either the arrows or it's WASD, right?
I was going for WASD, and then I freaked out. So I'm sorry. I'm
You
just.
got the shimmy back. It's okay. You're foot loosing again.
All right, shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff. Let's.
She's hiding behind her bowl.
No.
All right, just remember, everybody, we got actor dad legs here. Look at that go.
As all dads do, he just walks like a dad, Stephanie.
Just
Like a normal human dad.
Perfectly ordinary for dads.
Perfectly right. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. That was rude of me.
Drag you up that old meme.
Huh? This is delicious. You don't seem as energetic as you were earlier.
Delicia, can I just ask, did something happen with Von Karma?
Yesy, nothing of the sort.
But, you just said yesy.
That Yesy just now was only a greeting. You're a cute boy. I like you. What's your first name?
It's Raymond, but...
Well, Ray, I think you'll make a good man of yourself someday.
The
Ray
game-
Ray. Who called Ray Ray last time?
I think the whole chat called Ray Ray.
Everybody called Ray Ray.
Yeah.
Also, she didn't call him Sweet Baby Ray.
We're working
that's-
up to it.
So I want my money back.
I'm sorry.
All this money I put into Sweet Baby Ray stocks. It's a lot.
Ray Ray?
How about that? I think you have a way with British ladies.
She's a little different from my image of a lady. What does that mean, Ray?
She's a dame, Ray. Why don't we listen to what the dame has to say? Could you tell me about your actions during the contest?
Yesy, we began making desserts for the contest around 10 o'clock. Basically, I was in here making my desserts the whole time. At 1:30, I joined the afternoon tea for about an hour or so.
Afternoon tea?
In the middle of a contest? It's a social occasion where conversation is had over black tea and cakes.
So it's pretty much a tea party.
Well, I suppose.
Oh, Greggy, you're a smart boy, aren't you?
When did I become Greggy?
Just now, obviously.
Where was the afternoon tea held? Ah, music!
It's
It took
catching
place
up.
in the gardens, outside of the fountain patio. It's our customary break time during the contest. It's always held at the same time.
Oh, it's nice of a contest to give them a little bit of a lunch break or
Yeah.
tea break.
Today, there were just 3 of us who took part. Jeffy, Katie, and me. Since Jeffy had already finished his creations, he was there from beginning to end. Icy and Gusty didn't join in because they hadn't finished their desserts yet.
So, everyone other than Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia participated.
Yes, actually, I hadn't finished my dessert yet either. I just wanted to try some of Jeffy's handmade pastries and Katie's fresh brewed tea. So, after I'd eaten my fill, I returned before everyone else.
During the contest, did you enter any of the other contestants' rooms?
Yeah, what are you saying?
We found your fingerprints on the dessert at the crime scene.
Yeah, you found them. Are you admitting that you went to the scene of the murder? I admit it, but I'm not the murderer. It's the honest truth. Please hear me out.
What were you doing in Mr. Master's room?
The truth is, I was studying his desserts. Studying? Because Jeffy's so talented at making sweets. Well, nobody was in his room at the time, so I just decided to study his works for a bit.
That sounds like cheating!
But if you were just looking, you wouldn't have left your fingerprints behind.
Look with your eyes, not your hands.
It's natural that I left fingerprints on the desserts.
Sorry.
For the sake of research, I ate some of his desserts.
She ate one of everything?
Ooh, isn't that like stealing food?
It couldn't be. The one who wrecked Mr. Master's room was.
I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention to vandalize the room, but I did eat a few parts of the desserts in his room.
And she didn't serious cake competition, says Jams.
You just, you want to bite everything to know if it's chocolate.
I don't even know if that would be cheating as much as like just destroying art, I guess, because he wasn't competing, right? So you wouldn't be like sabotaging a competitor. You would just be literally eating the showpiece.
I mean, certainly it's improper conduct for this contest.
I mean,
For the same reason that if anybody walked into my room and ate most of my furniture, that would be...
She thought she was on that game show, the Japanese game show where something in the room is made of chocolate.
Also, Kevin, though, I think if, like, you had all your furniture just made out of chocolate, would you be surprised if someone took a bite out of your couch?
No.
Like, if you...
Because if it wasn't them, it would be me. Someone's gonna eat that couch eventually.
I would say it depends on the part of the couch they took a bite out of, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I'm gonna be really creeped out, honestly, if like, the whole couch is pristine except for, like, the part that you sit on. Like...
Yeah. Did you eat the butt part?
She's the butt part.
Too, like, if we, like, chomped one of the legs and now the couch is... It's like there's a whole couch made of chocolate and you had to chomp one of the legs.
Like...
Right?
The courteous parts are like the back or like the arm, right? Like those are the first chop zones that are acceptable.
Yeah. Or
So-
like the pillow.
Or the pillow.
So we've got all these like safety zones on the couch. Like these are things okay to eat, like kind of going inward from the outer edge.
Yeah.
Right.
If
yeah.
you eat the butt part, you're a weirdo though. Unless nobody's ever sat on the couch.
To be fair, if it's a chocolate couch, probably no one should sit on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
'Cause
Having
then the
chocolate
butt-
furniture would be uncomfortable because you would touch it, it would melt from your body heat.
And your butt, you'd have a butt groove from your melted
true.
butt body heat.
It would be completely shaped to you and your sitting pattern.
For approximately 10 minutes before it was decimated.
Yeah, the chat is on this page. We're like, this is a bad idea.
True.
Anyway, we'll continue.
Regardless, Delicia should not have eaten any of the objects in the room.
It wasn't a secret, Alicia.
I secretly ate little bits and pieces so Jeffy wouldn't find out.
She's the one who highlights for kids to spot the difference.
So, did you eat the ship stand as well?
Yes, I did.
You're going to jail.
So she ate the leg. That's what I just talked about where it's like, why'd you eat the leg?
The chocolate
She
chip
ate
broke
the leg.
because of you. Yeah, she could have ate the masthead. That would have been safe.
Or eat the plaque that says the words on it. Like, that's much more acceptable.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So the reason she left after the afternoon tea early. was to preserve her appetite.
But you gotta believe me on this. I'm not the murderer.
Her actions are sufficiently suspicious, but I won't press it yet.
Mostly in a zany way and not in a murdering way.
I guess I'll just look
I had to eat
around.
all the gold in the chest to make room for the body.
It's a cute candy fairy sitting on a tree stump. The creamy decorations are melting. The fairy seems to be well made, but something feels slightly off. Well, I'll never know. Ugh!
What is it, Mr. Attorney? Something about that ladder bothering you?
Detective Bad. It's actually a step ladder.
Agreed. The step ladder, that's what's important here.
They're both the same to me.
They're completely different. Look at their basic nature.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth, you tell him. Raise team step ladder.
Alright, we can stop playing this game. We've learned everything we need to. Here are all the tools used to make desserts.
Everything from a bucket of fresh cream to a brush and a trowel. Looks more like a construction worker's tools. Get up, boys. Don't underestimate, mates, the work of a pastry chef. That was a translation for sure.
Puns, right? Am I right?
It's completely different from construction work, where they cover the walls with cement. We use the trowel to smear the cream, and the brush to clean any uneven parts. How is that different from construction work? Also, I realize I'm more or less
Asshole.
completely abandoned British as an accent.
That's
You're
okay.
kind of vague Irish sometimes, and that's okay. It's a good vibe.
I can't believe this amazing castle is made entirely out of confectionery.
I know, what a work of fantasy. It's like a fairy tale world.
You like all this fairy tale stuff, don't you?
You a LARPer, Ray?
Oh, sorry, I got a bit too excited, didn't I?
RD's starting fights.
Oh shit, ladder versus step ladder happening right now in the chat.
No. It's interesting to me since you're so enthusiastic about it. Unlike my son.
Do you think I could get him into D&D?
Your son?
He won't
The
stop.
one who only watches CNN?
He's into CNN. Lately he's been branching out to NPR. He's only in grade school, yet he prefers to read law books instead of fairy tales. Lately he's also picked up 99% Invisible. I am worried that he won't be able to make any friends that he can talk to.
What an interesting kid. I'd like to be his friend.
We could talk about 99% Invisible.
Haha, I think you'd be more of a dysfunctional older brother who still eats paper to him.
Cool kid, hang on, let me write this down. Only watches CNN and reads law books.
I
And
forgot.
even your son, Gregory.
I forgot, guys.
How did you fucking forget?
Willfully.
An older brother, huh? Well, I've got some growing up to do then. Jokes.
Yes, that's why we can continue to have we can continue with the investigation. I won't rest until I've gone Spock with this. Inspect every nook and cranny. The castle doors are open.
When someone opens a door, they really should remember to close it afterwards.
Would he say that directly to Prosecutor Von Karma, though?
Huh? Looks like there's some stuff inside. Let's see.
Wait, I'll examine it. Stay out of the way. It's gonna get on into this fairy castle. This fresh cream melts too easily.
The fresh cream is melting. A single touch could cause it to break. Seems like Detective Bad's shoes got covered in cream. Why were these objects kept inside the Candy Castle?
If there's anything you want to investigate, you better speak up now.
The carpets, I guess, those weird rocks.
I will. I was just debating whether or not I wanted to fight Chat.
Nook and Cranny. I have some questions about the castle made of cream.
Mm-hmm.
None of which will be satisfactorily answered, except the fact that this whole time I was understanding that it was a castle made of cream and some other stuff. And then what this is telling me is that no, it's like a castle made entirely of whipped cream, such that if you touch it, it melts.
Now, let's say it was made out of what I can assume, like, let's say it's made out of cardboard and whipped cream, right? Like, if you touch it, the whipped cream will melt off of the cardboard immediately and will collapse.
Yeah.
Because, not that I, like, working in a bakery for 3 years gives me any sort of cake knowledge, but, like, that's honestly what a lot of shit was held up with. When they made
cream?
If it was, like, structurally made with whipped cream, like, they used a lot of cardboard to, like...
Oh, sure, yeah.
To, like, help shape it or stuff it, or...
I was thinking maybe it was ice cream, but this room is less cold than the other room.
Could be
That's right.
buttercream?
Buttercream. No, that's an interesting one.
Also, the rules of this contest are that 100% of the construction needs to be dessert.
Edible, so it can't be held up with cardboard. It could be like gingerbread, but she doesn't strike me as a gingerbread type lady at this moment. Maybe or cookies, but let's go with it's made entirely out of frosting, buttercream frosting or something, because like that at least doesn't make me think it's all Cool Whip, right?
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Already Whip all the way down, right? No.
Fair enough. There are rolls of blue cloth here. Looks like there's 4 of them in it all.
They certainly don't look like desserts.
Yeah. I don't know what the cloth is for. It almost seems like it was hidden here inside the castle.
Also, the color of this cloth looks familiar somehow.
Dead body cloth.
What is this thing?
2 big rocks are placed here. It's like a storage room.
Yeah, the inside of the Candy Castle isn't so dreamy. Hey, maybe they're raw gemstones. Who knew that there were such treasures hidden within this castle?
Seems like a rather careless way to handle treasure.
Have you ever played a video game, Gregory?
No, that's
They
why
just
my
put
son
that
is...
shit everywhere.
That's why my son is such a square. Or a rectangle. According to the chat, they're basically the same. It looks like there's something underneath the rocks.
Seems like there's a pedestal attached to both of the rocks.
For some reason.
Full of rest to hide keys to your house. Of course, it's a pedestal for displaying the gems.
Well, in any case, this is no ordinary object.
So we got weird rocks, we got murder carpets, we got everything you could need inside of your ice castle.
This pillar has a hexagonal recess.
It looks like a pedestal, but it has nothing on it.
A hexagonal recess, huh? I wonder what could have been put there except maybe rocks.
You're out of line, Michelle. That's crazy.
The
I'm
giant,
sorry, I don't know basic logic, so who could say?
a giant strawberry would fit with the fresh cream.
Detective Bad, I don't think strawberries are hexagonal.
It could be. I was just hoping.
Then I hope it's a banana.
Fuck off, Ray. I think
Hexagonal banana.
I think I'd prefer blueberries.
Gregory's a single blueberry a day man himself.
Because if you tried to give him 2 blueberries, he'd be like, no thanks. One is
Like,
enough.
you already gave Gregory a present today, and you would do it too.
Alright, see if there's anything else I need to examine.
Can you do those little purple flowers, or are they just...
They're just purple flowers.
Little purple
I
flowers?
feel like
Just
I
decorative.
probably have logic to do, but
Yeah, do some
Only-
logic.
Hexagonal stand and weird rock.
yeah, I was just making sure there was something else.
I mean, I think that has bearing on this scene, so...
Kobe. The rock's pedestal has a similar recess to the recess on the castle pillars. Perhaps the rock is meant to be placed on top of the pillars.
Oh, that's right. They're both hexagonal.
I wonder why they were hidden inside the castle, though. The blue cloth and the rocks inside the castle. I wonder if they belong to Delicia. Delicia, do those things in the castle belong to you?
Those? I'm afraid I can't tell you. Looks like Von Karma is keeping her silent. I've been found out. He'll get mad at me if I talk.
Prosecutor Von Karma doesn't intend to be upfront with his information.
Oh, it's such a shame. We finally figured out where the rocks are. We finally figured out where the rocks are supposed to go.
Could it be that you're interested in my rocks?
Huh? Your rocks?
I mean,
Good.
how much you sell in a baggie for, Delicia?
Listen, I'm not a rock salesperson.
Yeah, she's about to tell you she is a rock salesperson.
Those are my popular relaxation goods.
You mean you are a rock salesperson? The rocks and the cloth?
You see? That's right. You see, they're not actually rocks, but special lamps made from rock salt.
Wow, so those are lamps and not cream like you're supposed to have done.
It gets even more exciting.
More exciting than lamps?
Because this cloth also has an amazing secret.
As soon as we... I always hate it when a magician reveals their tricks. As soon as we showed interest in her goods, she becomes quite talkative.
Since we've got them out, come experience the therapy, boys.
My god,
Betty, could you put everything up?
we're about to get pulled into a multi-level marketing scheme.
It's not Betty, it's bad. So you won't do it? Is Betty being a bad boy? Labby, are you done photographing this room?
Yes, sir, I am.
And go help Delicia.
Yes, sir, I'm on it.
Thanks. I knew you were a good boy underneath, Patty.
Delicious. That was amazing. You persuaded Detective Bad to get someone else to do it.
Thanks a lot, Patty. And you too, Forensies.
She even gave the forensics a nickname. This lady, I'm taking notes. I'm gonna eat them and then do it when I'm an adult.
Even though Labby also sounds like a nickname and would have been easier to say.
Yeah.
Yep, and then also, this mostly reminds me of Gant.
Yeah.
Mm.
Although I guess his naming scheme was a little different.
But giving nicknames to everybody is a villainous trait in Phoenix Wright, so...
Yeah, the only other person who does it is Larry Butts and Wendy Oldbag.
true villains of the series, gotta say.
Yeah, abso-fuck-a-lutely they are. I think that's her way of showing she cares.
What's so therapeutic about these things anyway? We don't have time for that now, Patty. The show's about to begin. Forensies, finishing touches, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Forensies.
It's a natural thing to call someone. It's...
Wow, it's so beautiful.
Bad falls to his knees, sobbing. Yeah, see, Dahlia calls Phoenix Speedy. Like, Maya doesn't call people. Maya, does Maya actually ever drop a nickname?
Nick.
That's true.
And then Phoenix calls Pearly. No, just Pearls.
Oh, Pearly. Yeah. They have a couple for Pearl.
So it's only if it's a diminutive nickname that it becomes villainous.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
If it's a non-consensual nickname, if you don't want to be called it, you're a villain. Are you implying that this lady did the murder, Kevin?
I'm not implying that.
He's saying it now.
Why would I give that away?
I wish my son gave a shit.
OG says the assistants and sidekicks give people nicknames like Gummy and Nick and Polly sometimes, so.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Never mind, Delicia's clear.
Oh, good. Whew. She's just trapped in an MLM forever.
Boy, I told you so, right? The Four Fairies and the Curious Candy Castle was the theme of my work. It's so sparkly and cute, right?
It seems like one of them is missing something.
The truth is, I plan to unveil it during the contest. Well, I'm glad I got to show it to you boys.
Huh? But it doesn't look like the rock salt lamps are lighting up.
Huh? I wonder why.
I think I'll need to examine the rocks and the fairies again.
We gotta play Spot the Difference. She didn't really talk about the therapeutic nature of them, but...
That's probably because there isn't one.
Oh no, it's covered in blood.
Yeah. It looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken.
Jam says the sidekicks keep getting arrested because they give people nicknames and it's villainous. So that
Alright.
one is solved.
On to something here.
Both of their light bulbs are broken.
Maybe they were dropped on the floor. There's some sort of red stain on this lamppost surface.
The stain. Could it be?
That smell, there's no mistaking it. It's bloodstained.
We don't need forensies for this one. Ugh, that's a blood stain?
Have you never seen blood before, kid? I wonder.
This is reasonably traumatizing, I think.
To see an actual. I don't know. He saw the murder pictures, right?
Yeah, but this is quite a bit of human blood probably on a thing covered in ice cream.
We don't know what Ray's been doing before this as far as like his life, but he seems relatively fresh-faced to like everything.
Yeah. And OG Mask, yes, Francie calls everybody by their full name because she's perfectly perfect and there's not a single villainous thing about her.
Nothing, yeah, no. She's never
perfect.
done anything wrong in her whole life.
Scally is melting off my legs. Say hi, Scally.
Yeah, he's turned to liquid. There he is.
Okay. I wonder if this has something to do with the lamp ball being broken. I should also take a look at the other lamp here. So, this is where Delicia originally intended to put the lamps.
I don't get why she put them in the castle.
broken and don't light up, maybe she decided to put them out of the way?
If she wanted them out of the way, there are many other places to store them.
It's like that old saying, hide the salt in the sugar bag.
I think the saying goes, hide a tree in the forest. I don't know how I connected those two things together,
Yeah.
but if
I've never heard hide the salt in the sugar bag, but
Nope, me
I mean,
neither.
but that as a saying makes more sense.
it does.
It's like, oh yeah, because they look identical and you would mistake one for the other, so
Yeah, I'm not saying Ray's wrong, I've just never heard that saying before, so I don't know how Gregory, thought
I've-
he meant that other one about trees.
Oh well.
If Delicia intended to use these lamps as decorations during the contest, it creates a contradiction with the piece of evidence. I need to deduce the contradiction at the scene.
Jam says it was probably two Japanese proverbs, and the translation team was like, trees? So yeah,
Probably.
probably true.
The castle door is adorned with a beautiful cloth. I think this was the cloth that was in the castle.
entranceways are always beautiful. That's what a detective thinks.
Yes. All Detective Bad think that that's beautiful, and then you trampled it with your shoes. But this is no time for snide remarks. Alright, just watch it.
He says that having made one.
Yeah.
Someone left bloodstain. Someone was beaten to death with a blunt object. The cream is melting. Alicia broke into the other room and ate all the shit.
Yeah, probably not that one.
It's probably these two, right?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
There's evidence that their victim was beaten to death with a blunt object. What's more, there's a bloodstain on one of the broken rock salt lamps. Could this lamp have been the murder weapon?
You're right. It could have been used as a weapon.
Labby, is the blood analysis on this rock salt lamp finished?
Yes, sir. I finished it just a few moments ago. The bloodstain on that lamp belonged to the victim.
You heard what he said.
Why wasn't this immediately brought to his attention? Hey, we found the murder weapon! Like,
No, you know how the last person we saw in the castle was Von Karma?
that's fair.
Yeah.
The murder weapon was hidden in Delicia's room. We need to consider her as one of the suspects as well. Wanted to do something? Oh, no. Not what I wanted. I lied.
Did it contradict? Because was that the thing he said that contradicted a piece of evidence? Because I do think he mentioned something. But we can always check other stuff and come back.
Well, so the only contradiction thing, I think, is, like, this banner isn't around the ferry. We have to go examine the ferry next.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, we can look at other stuff.
Unlike the other ferries, this one doesn't have a fluorescent cloth.
Miss Delicious, it's not right to leave one out.
I don't like it either. But one fluorescent cloth in the machine has gone missing.
You've lost a cloth? And a machine? What sort of machine is it?
Oh, let me tell you. Each piece of fluorescent cloth is hooked up to one of these machines. The machine is called a rainbow light device. Light is sent through the cable and into the cloth, which is made of optic fibers.
Damn, lady.
Just fiddle around with the settings a bit and it'll turn into all sorts of colors. When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it goes blue, You can almost feel the glittering cool ice. It's powered by a long-lasting battery that's resistant to changes in temperature.
I'm not very familiar with these kind of devices. If only I brought my son.
Mr. Edgeworth, she's saying it's a machine that transmits light to the special clock. It sends light to it, and then you can customize the color. Oh, she just said that. Never mind.
I see. It's amazing what they come up with these days.
So one rainbow light device and one fluorescent cloth are missing.
That's right, happy Pride!
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Yeah, see, that's right. Wherever could they be?
This fluorescent cloth. Could it be related to the case? Fluorescent cloth has added to the court record. Oh, come on, game. You can handle it.
Game can't handle all these brilliant rainbow light thingies.
The cloth in the back, along with the decorations, really gives it a magical atmosphere. When you look at it, it almost feels like you're spellbound.
What we need to look for is the hidden truths in the real world. Don't be fooled by the fairies.
Don't turn around, don't turn around. If you do, you're only gonna eat that castle. This forensic officer seems to be on a diet.
I mean, hey, Gregory. There's other reasons not to eat that castle. My dude.
Okay, so we have to deduce something.
Yeah, there was figure out which the thing he said where it was like, that contradicts that piece of evidence.
I think it was
it
this
the
one, wasn't it?
rock?
We don't have to split the lamps. I don't get why she put it there. Detective, she wants another way. There are better places to store them. Weird
Hide
cover.
the sugar. Yeah, we were so distracted by hide the sugar and the salt.
If Lucy intends to use these lamps as decorations during the contest, it creates a contradiction with that piece of evidence I have.
I think it's the rules.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
You got hit to deuce. Go back.
Well, I just want to make sure I have a copy of the
Oh.
rules. Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Alright, cool. So, back. And cloth. Well, so actually, it would be the rock or the cloth or
Do the rock, because that's what brought it up, I think.
That's true. Though the cloth is probably also true, as I don't think fiber optics are edible.
No.
Not with that attitude.
Detective Bad, please read the contestant leaflet.
Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Huh.
These rock salt lamps and fluorescent cloths go as against the rules.
So maybe that's why they were hidden in the castle?
I wonder about that. I think we should investigate further into Lucia's actions.
Time to question her, hey?
Hey, time to put the screws to her.
Oh, you know what we haven't had in a while?
Logic check.
That's true. Oh, that thing you've got there is rather cute, Greggy.
Cute rules.
But the color is rather unappealing. Now, if I were to coat it with a fresh cream...
Stop that. Okay, wait.
I think you might have to logic first to get something.
I see.
We have to logic that she's breaking the rules.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
There's other objects besides decorations. She went to study the master. Ice cream is melting. Am I missing something?
Maybe.
Maybe, but I don't know what. But something to connect to Delicia broke the rules, maybe.
there's something else I can study.
Look at. Maybe go. Remember that they made a comment about the temperature sensor?
Yeah.
All right,
Where's that?
Maybe go look at. It's back left.
that orange light.
And the fact that the fiber optics are immune to temperature differentials, that might be important.
There's a cover on the wall, just like in Mr. Master's room.
Let's open it up.
The room temperature is 68 degrees Fahrenheit and the lights are set to green.
Gustavia said that 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the ideal temperature for fresh cream. This room's temperature is too high.
That we can logic something with that, which is that they're delicate and they're melting.
Yeah. This is intriguing. Logic. Alright, fragile desserts. High temperature. The reason the fresh cream is so fragile is due to the hot temperature of Detective Bad here. I mean, of this room.
So I'm too hot for this cream.
Yeah, do that, because I don't like the thing he actually said.
Speaking of which... When you opened the castle door, the doorknob didn't break.
Yeah, it was stronger than I thought.
'Cause she's cheating! Strong? A dessert? Detective Bad, could you have a closer look at that doorknob?
Want me to bite it?
Please do.
This is...
It would seem this doorknob isn't a dessert. This is not the chocolate item in this room.
And it's not just a doorknob. This castle and the fairies are just plastic molds coated in fresh cream.
Well, Stephanie was onto something with that cardboard. Ugh.
Then this isn't a dessert palace at all.
It would seem that there are just thick desserts covered in fresh cream.
Oh, there we go.
Fake
Yeah, there it is.
desserts. Broke the rules. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it,
Did she
get
go
it,
eat
get
all
it.
the chocolate because she was like, oh no, I fucked up. Like, she was like, oh, this is really chocolate. Oh no, is it all really chocolate?
Using decorations that were against the rules and making fake desserts. A lot of Delicia's actions seem suspicious.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she's aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef.
Also, the temperature of the room is way too high. Is there a reason for that?
There we go.
Finally, fake dessert is added to the court record. I wonder. I think we should ask Delicia directly. Ma'am. 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 Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am. Ma'am.
Yes?
I'm trying to talk to you. Ma'am, please, you have to settle down. Stay still, ma'am. Ma'am. Please, oh my goodness, ma'am.
Sir?
Delicia, why is the room temperature set to 68 degrees Fahrenheit?
The cult doesn't agree with me. Plus, it's bad for the body. This figure doesn't just maintain itself, you know. Naturally, as a lady, I want to look young forever.
But I wonder how old Miss Delicious really is.
Raymond, a true gentleman never asks a woman her age.
I thought he was gonna be like, Raymond, if you get her name wrong one more fucking time.
This room is mainly filled with cream. And 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the recommended temperature for preserving fresh cream. What, really? That's all gone to waste.
It looks like Miss Delicious didn't know. How did you get in this contest, lady?
Well, that's probably a problem.
Huh. I thought she was supposed to be a first-class pastry chef.
Unless she's a stand-in. The fake desserts and the rule violations, and now her lack of basic knowledge. Looks like she keeps many secrets.
I think you can logic those last two things.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they fit together.
Delicia's knowledge in the arts of dessert making is lacking in fundamental areas, and she claims she went into Mr. Master's room in order to study his desserts. These actions and ideas are not fitting of someone aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef.
Yeah, they don't sound like the words of a pro. It's like she doesn't even realize it, or
maybe she isn't a real pastry chef. Perhaps she has some other intention. It's possible that she didn't go into the room to study desserts.
So then, are you saying Miss Delicious is the criminal?
We can't say that for sure yet. But I know she's hiding something from us. Investigation complete.
I mean, we know she's a cheater and a liar, and that,
She's probably
Yeah.
not who she says she is.
and I don't think that people's figures are maintained by 58 degrees Fahrenheit. So,
I mean, she does believe in healing crystals, so.
yeah, I suppose so. It's 'cause
But-
it's a poor multi-level marketing scheme that she's trapped in.
That's enough investigating.
We found much more than I expected. And yet, there's something from before that still bothers me. Prosecutor Von Karma must have found the murder weapon in this room. So then, why did he let Delicia be? Firstly, I must ascertain Von Karma's true motives. Detective Bad, I would like to ask Prosecutor Von Karma something.
I've also got business with him. And Delicia there, too.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the idea, Batty? Don't play with me like that.
It seems Detective Bad also has his doubts about Delicia and Von Karma. Delicia, would you come with us for a moment?
Jesse, that's fine. What for?
We have to find Von Karma. There are some things we need to talk about. It's almost Christmas at 8:05 p.m. Contestant venue, Fountain, patio.
OG Mastermass says that Delicia's age is unknown and she's probably 70 or older. That's fine, but I don't think the difference of 58 degrees still cold. Like, I can't stress this enough.
Prosecutor Von Karma, we need to talk about the case.
Disc, disc, disc. From the look on your face, I assume it. Don't go Russian. I assume it found the murder weapon.
Yes. We discovered the murder weapon in Delicia's room. It would seem Mr. Master isn't the only suspect in this case.
Bah, that's not true. Where the murder weapon was found does not change the fact that Master is the culprit. As long as I am here.
Why is Von Karma so sure of himself? Well then, aren't you going to explain why the murder weapon was in Delicia's room?
Naturally, if you wish to know, I will tell you. That's the Manfred von Karma way, is unobstructive and informative.
About the murder weapon. A
A
lie,
story by me.
a
Manfred
lie,
von
and a
Karma.
trick and a joke by Manfred von Karma.
Everybody thinking 58 Celsius.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, 58 Celsius is not 58. 58 Fahrenheit is low.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know conversions. Because I'm an American. Anyway, it's cold. Not quite snowing cold.
It's chilly.
Not, it's chilly.
It's cooler than sweater weather if you're gonna be outside for any length of it's light jacket weather. Yeah, everybody's very international.
In order to pin the crime on Delicia, Master used the rock salt lamp to kill the victim. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room. If he had left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have been the one suspected. He couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to the specific culprit at the crime scene.
14 degrees Celsius. Thanks for the save there, somebody.
God, 14 degrees Fahrenheit is very cold.
Yeah.
Mr. Master took the rock salt lamp?
Precisely. I carried out the investigation myself. There can be no room for doubt.
Do you have evidence that he moved it?
That will not be necessary.
Now we got some jokers telling us about Kelvin. Thanks, Aaron. What?
Well, yeah, that's what I guess it's all perspective, right? 14 degrees Celsius or 58 degrees Fahrenheit is very cold some places, and here it is light jacket weather. In
That's
Scotland, it's pretty warm. I'm sure the temperature won't be relevant at all. Thanks, Matt Bob.
Yeah, for people in Cali, they do pull out parkas sometimes when it gets that low.
I'm losing my grip on my Manfred. I need to be nasalier.
You need to get nasalier or lean more into that Godfather aspect. I think that works also.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. If you have an objection, say it.
Fatter.
Do you think a mere defense attorney can break my logic?
You don't have to go fatter.
I'm fatter.
Unfat, loose.
About the murder weapon. In order to pin the crime on Delicia, Master used the rock salt lamp to kill the victim.
He took the rock salt lamp from Delicia's room?
Exactly. In order to kill Dover, he had to prepare the murder weapon beforehand.
But the murder weapon was found in Delicia's room. Doesn't that place suspicion on Delicia too?
I'm not finished. Master killed Dover. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room.
So the murder weapon was the rock salt. The fact that they say rock salt lamp every time.
There's a lot of struggles happening in this questioning. One is like Master and Dover, and the names are just a little bit. It's okay. Rock salt lamp, Candy Castle.
So the murder weapon was the salt lamp.
I discovered the murder weapon when I entered the castle. Be thankful, defense attorney, that you two came by this information.
Why was it necessary for you to enter the castle?
Maybe he's interested in candy castles. Why do you think I went in there because I wanted to?
You eat pancakes, so was my maybe.
It's my job as a defense or as a prosecutor. The detectives at the scene were useless, so I had to investigate myself.
I wasn't in charge of the initial investigation.
Detective Bad joined the investigation halfway through.
Ugh, a certain work ethic is required if you are to gain my trust. This is a flagrant waste of time. I'll continue. If we had left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have been the one suspected.
Wouldn't the body be left behind his room also be cause for suspicion? Moreover,
I have a favorite saying. I would like to share it with you. Even dogs can wait. Wait until I've finished.
That was very good, actually.
that's exactly what I'd like to say to you.
I enjoyed that one.
It couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon.
Are you saying that Mr. Master removed the murder weapon and hid the body in the chest?
He believed that if he hid it inside his own work, it would not be discovered.
So savory.
Don't you mean so sorry?
No, I didn't. She shows no sign of remorse.
He moved the murder weapon and left the body at the scene. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the scene.
How can you include that Mr. Master's the killer without any evidence?
You think that will shake me? You disappoint me. As long as the body was found in Master's room, he's the prime suspect.
Is there really no evidence pointing to anyone else at the crime scene? Surely there's room for further investigation.
Insolent attorney. Another investigation is not necessary. Master must be the killer. If you think differently, cease these pointless words and speak with evidence.
Think back to the crime scene. If Mr. Master isn't the killer, there must have been something there incriminating someone else. It seems Von Karma won't be shaken easily. I'll just have to present evidence that contradicts his reasoning. Okay. So in order to pin the crime, use the rock salt lamp. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room. If he had left the murder weapon and he was suspected for murder, he could move the body. He could move the body easily with the murder weapon. Ergo, there would be no point specified a specific culprit at the crime scene.
Although,
She ate everything and
yeah,
then went to the crime scene. So maybe that's the statement.
Left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have suspected. So you're saying this statement?
no,
Sorry, the previous one?
No,
Sorry, the next
the final statement.
this one. There would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene.
Someone...
Maybe not that one, but do we have something showing that she ate everything?
Fake desserts. Missing cloth. Well, the missing cloth wasn't it on the body?
We haven't made that
Oh,
jump that.
logic leap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're too far ahead of the case on that one.
Oh, sorry, but it's right.
Yeah. Well, maybe we don't have something that says that she fucking touched everything.
No.
Unless the chocolate picture frame was seen.
It just doesn't say like her name.
No, it just says
good
that
point.
somebody left fingerprints.
No fingerprints were found on this one, actually.
But no
Okay.
fingers. RD big same. I also don't go outside. Let's see. Can move the body. Is easy to move the murder weapon. Left the murder weapon. Crime scene.
This is a toughie, and when we were reading it, I wasn't paying attention between trying to figure out what the fuck I was doing with Manfred's voice and reading the weather chat.
That's okay.
So, the safety save is good, so...
Let's go back to the beginning. Okay. So, let's see. In order to pin the crime... Well, we're pretty sure that the salt lamp is the murder weapon, so that doesn't contradict anything.
Right.
At this time, at least. He then deposited the murder weapon into Delicia's room. He had left the murder weapon at the crime scene. Master would have been the suspected one. He couldn't move the body easily.
It feels like that last statement is still the most, like, falsifiable.
This one?
No, the...
Oh, the
I
very
mean,
last
the,
of the
yeah.
sentence. Could move the body easily with the murder weapon. There'll be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime
Here,
scene.
I mean, maybe the problem here is that there is a dead body at the crime scene, which would point to... Oh no, the key, maybe. The key and the
Maybe-
fact that it can...
Maybe it is the cloth. Maybe we are supposed to make that jump.
We could try it.
The only key that can unlock the rooms of the mansion was in Mr. Master's possession. Check it.
Oh, that's true. We haven't checked it.
A blue cloth. I like this relaxing color.
As expected of Mr. Edgeworth. That's so old school, man. Come on, let's hurry and make it glow.
Yes. Does he mean that I'm old-fashioned?
You're wearing a fedora, Gregory.
He's classy.
Although he doesn't, I mean, I would also say, like, I like the color blue. It doesn't make you go like, oh, outdated, man. Like cool new colors, like Vanta Black.
Turbo fuchsia.
Ah, there are some switches over here.
They probably control the
Sorry.
color of the cloth.
Switches over here.
Raymond, try switching one on.
Ooh,
The cloth has started to glow.
it's so mesmerizing. I could look at it all day.
Now, real quick, I do like that the fiction of this moment is that in the middle of this argument with Von Karma, they're like, hold on. Ooh.
Oh.
Punk was just over here like,
Okay, well, we switched it on and, like, it's on now.
maybe look at the butt,
Oh. Let me go back.
check the back where the cord plugs in or something. I don't know. Oh, I was thinking of the machine.
Listen, I don't have the option of not having it, like, spin in space like this. But that's
I still think we could present the cloth and it would be...
I mean, we safety saved, so I don't see why it would
Yeah.
be her. I mean, my other hunch is the key. And the key to the fact that, like, he moved the... Maybe to this one, but maybe to the fact that he moved the rock salt lamp so no one would suspect him, but he was the only one with a key to all the rooms.
the only other thing I can
I
also
don't know,
think
that's-
of. If it
It's a
says
stretch.
maybe it's the chocolate fingerprints, it's like, yeah, but those are nobody's fingerprints, but it's like, yeah, but who was eating chocolate in that room?
If many options.
So let's try the
So-
cloth first. And it was right.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
It's true that the murder weapon and the bloodstain disappeared from the vicinity. However, there was still one piece of incriminating evidence left behind. Have a look at this photograph, which was taken, and every time I look at it, it
Every
makes
time I do
me
it,
laugh.
it makes me laugh.
This cloth was used to wrap the body. Doesn't it remind you of the fluorescent cloth from Delicia's room?
Eve, my fluorescent cloth was at the crime scene?
Fluorescent cloth. Yo, just what part of this cloth is fluorescent? I guess Von Karma doesn't know about this cloth's secret. Even though we just did it on the floor, like over there.
It also is pretty surprising that you didn't see this huge computer tower that was attached to the cloth. It is a rainbow light device. You can make it glow.
He doesn't like that.
Seems a little surprised.
I don't think it was the cloth's ability to glow that surprised him. One sheet of this fluorescent cloth is currently unaccounted for. Now I'd like you to look at the color of the cloth in this photograph. Don't you think it looks like the color of the fluorescent cloth before it's been lit up? Both the rock salt lamp and the fluorescent cloth originally belonged to Delicia. Wouldn't it be natural to assume that this cloth was used to wrap the body? Prosecutor Von Karma. I believe the present conditions give us much reason to suspect Delicia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Closet Greggy. Do you really suspect me?
I don't yet know if you are the culprit. But it's true that you're a dame, and dames are always hiding something, am I right?
Oh, that's...
So, you're saying the murder weapon and the cloth were originally from Delicia's room?
Yes.
Disc. Let me do just like Miles Edgeworth does.
What's so funny?
Just as I expected from you. The murder weapon and the cloth are not from her room. How unfortunate for you.
What does he mean?
Before the contest began, Master noticed her violation of the rules. He confiscated the cloth and the rock salt lamp and kept them in his room for safekeeping.
What?
The victim was not seen as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the door to the locked rooms was Jeff Master. And the murder weapon, the rock salt, was being kept in Master's room. This should be the decisive evidence in proving Master's guilt. Defense attorney. You've lost to me before you even had a chance to stand in court.
Ugh, what's this?
What? Was all our investigation for nothing? Mrs. Delicious, why didn't you tell us about your confiscated item?
Oh, well... Manny said I'd look suspicious if I did.
Prosecutor Von Karma.
And it's true. You all suspect me, don't you?
Tisk. How clumsy of you, defense attorney. I haven't learned your name. Maybe tell me again.
Von Karma. So that's why he left us to investigate Delicia's room.
And in your clumsiness, there's one more thing I need to inform you of. 2 sets of fingerprints were found on the murder weapon.
2.
Yes, they belonged to Jeff Master and Delicia Scones. No other fingerprints were found.
That makes sense, unless somebody was wearing gloves.
After Master killed Dover with the confiscated rock salt lamp, He foolishly concealed a double murder weapon bearing his own fingerprints in the owner's room. I don't even need to prove my case in court. I have more than enough perfect evidence to prove Master's guilt.
Hold it. I still have some doubts about the fluorescent cloth found in Mr. Master's room.
Bah, irrelevant. After disposing of the body, he intended to return it to Delicia's room.
I don't have enough information to refute Von Karma's reasoning.
Nothing left to say? If your job is done, leave this place. That's...
I can't give up yet.
Ugh, we've wasted enough time here as it is. Bad. Take them away.
There is still some doubts left in our investigation.
Detective Bad.
What is the meaning of this?
It's not my nature to leave any doubts behind. There's still one piece of evidence that is yet to be identified.
That's right. There's still traces someone left behind.
Talk about your doubts as much as you want later. But this, my dear attorney, is none of your business.
No. I also have some doubts about one piece of evidence. It's likely that I have the same doubts Detective Bad has.
What?
This is the piece of evidence left of Mr. Master's room that is yet to be identified.
The pH, maybe?
That hasn't been identified. These fingerprints haven't been identified.
That's true.
If he confiscated, classic Manfred von Karma holds, right? If he
Right.
confiscated all of her fake stuff just for dessert making before she could make her dessert, how does she have an entire castle covered in cream?
I think the idea is that he only confiscated a little bit of it for evidence.
Okay. But still
But
let
what-
her compete, you know.
Yeah, what he was waiting on, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter because he's like the judge of the contest, so
Right, yeah.
like it's already over for her. But I feel like it's either that signet or the chocolate.
I'm gonna go with the signet. Ah, damn.
Aw.
Done.
This is not the same doubt I had.
Whoops.
Gregory, what are you doing?
The only thing I question here is you, defense attorney. There can be no unidentified evidence before Von Karma.
Really?
Oh. Hold on to my hat. Please, wait. I still have some doubts left. It's maybe the chocolate?
Yeah, because if there's no fingerprints, that means that there must have been another person other than Delicia or Master.
Yeah.
And we just
I
don't...
mean, the other thing is that the shit was moved from under the head to remove the blood stain, and we don't know who did that, but...
Right. I don't think
That also.
that's written on the body, though.
Yeah, we're not even there yet.
No, yeah, we're not there yet. I'd say try the frame.
There we go.
It was that one!
Somebody left glove finger marks on one of Mr. Master's desserts. If these were the killer's finger marks, then it's possible that the killer also didn't leave any fingerprints on the murder weapon.
How do you know the state of the crime scene?
I gave them permission to investigate.
What possessed you to let a defense attorney into the crime scene?
Legal procedure.
You didn't tell me not to.
Yeah, I don't recall you telling me not to let them in.
Bah, such impudence. You'd best remember that. Your salary review depends on me.
Boo!
Ooh, gonna eat nothing but lollipops.
This isn't good for bad. I'm so glad I have a kind boss like Mr. Edgeworth.
Your salary review depends on how you perform here.
Shit, I'm making salary? Damn, I'm making minimum hourly wage. Huh. I'm surprised at what a mere attorney like you managed to uncover in such a short time.
I honestly thought he was gonna say, Ray, I don't pay you.
I thought, yeah, you're an intern.
Yeah, you don't get paid.
However, it's possible those fingerprints were Master's own doing. Because he always wore gloves while cooking.
Do you have evidence that those finger marks were left by a master? And moreover, there are still a few points of suspicion surrounding Delicia.
Oh, you still haven't given up on that.
Yo, Greggy, you still suspect me? I've already apologized for stealing a few bites.
I don't want to suspect you. However, I can't easily trust those who tell lies. You must still be hiding something.
Ooh, Greggy is a bully.
Don't you know the temperature fresh cream must be kept at? You call yourself a dessert chef, but you lack even the most basic knowledge.
I'm sorry for my lack of knowledge.
In your case, it's not even about the lack of knowledge. In truth, you don't even know how to make desserts, do you?
Oh, shit. Smackdown is happening. Defense attorney. You attack my pastry chef on this. Stop trying to force your own reason. In a court of law, the evidence tells all. If you say the witness is lying, show it with evidence.
We're not in court yet, but very well. This evidence shows that Delicia can't make desserts. The fake desserts?
I think that'd be it, yeah.
Seems reasonable, yeah.
The only thing Delicia made were those that broke the rules.
The lamp and cloth that broke the rules were being held in Master's room. There is no way the witness could have returned them to her room.
Those were not the only fake desserts she made.
Why?
Her desserts may look like something out of a fairy tale at first glance, but in reality, they're nothing but mannequins, decorated with cream and a dream. Apart from the cream, they're all fakes.
Ugh.
This is not something one aiming to become the world's greatest pastry chef would do.
Is this true? Bad.
Yes, my shoes can attest to that.
He's very upset about the shoes.
I wasn't talking to you. I was just saying, is this true? If it is, it's bad. Will that be enough to convince Prosecutor on karma?
Once he sees what Delicia has done, he'll have no choice but to be convinced. Delicia, the fact that your actions could lead to you being a suspect is no laughing matter.
I didn't murder.
Isn't it time you told us the whole truth? Who are you, and why were you indulging yourself in another contestant's work?
Yes, yeah, I understand. The truth is, I'm not really a dessert chef, like I led you to believe. I'm actually a pharmacist.
Oh shit, where's Aaron?
What? A pharmacist?
That's a completely different occupation. It's no wonder he couldn't hide his surprise. Why is a pharmacist like you participating in a contest like this?
I just love eating desserts. I joined because I thought I'd be able to eat some of Jeffy's desserts. I never thought I'd end up making it to the finals.
Even Prosecutor Von Karma is at loss for words.
So that's the real reason why you entered the contest?
Yes, he. As expected, Jeffy's desserts were oh so good.
So the gloved finger marks on the picture frame were your doing?
Eh? No way. I never wore gloves.
Strictly not food safe. That's how I keep it here.
Felicia's fingerprints were found on Mr. Master's chocolates. So it is true that she wasn't wearing gloves.
Yes, he. Exactly. You do believe me, Greggy.
Is your face stuffed with nothing but desserts?
And lies.
I think it's her belly that's stuffed. Were Master's desserts all that you ate?
Actually, no.
I'm glad you asked.
After the afternoon tea, I also ate Ixie's desserts.
Ah,
Amazing. There was a little bit of delight on Gregory's face there.
I love that. Whenever he does that, he's always like, oh, got my hat. You mean you entered the victim's room?
Yes, he. Exactly. The room was empty after all.
Perhaps the victim was already dead by then.
But my first bite tasted way too salty and I couldn't eat it.
I hope it wasn't because there was blood on it.
I was thinking giant Himalayan salt rocks.
So, I added the delicious star-shaped dessert that was nearby. Or I ate the delicious star-shaped dessert.
Delicious. You really are a glutton.
That's pretty rude, Ray. She's living the dream that we all have, which is to eat all the cupcakes on Cupcake Wars.
It is rare you see a woman who actually eats all of the cupcakes.
No.
To actually do it, to live the dream.
To live the dream, I suppose, yeah.
That's all I did. I only ate all the cupcakes. Craigie, Manny,
One
everyone.
bite of all the cupcakes. She only had one bite of everything. She's the hungry little caterpillar. It really is.
Craigie, Manny, everyone. I'm sorry I caused you trouble.
Now that you've told us the truth, everything's fine. There's no need to apologize. Booker.
This does not mean that your testimony is trustworthy.
You're going a little Borat.
That's not Borat.
I'll be investigating the victim's room after this.
I'm trying. It's hard.
No, I know.
Only then will I decide if your testimony is true.
Prosecutor Von Karma. I'd like to go as well. I also need to ascertain whether my reasoning up until now has been correct.
I'll let you follow, but I have no intention of letting you investigate.
That's enough for me. Just two bros hanging out. It's almost Christmas at 9 p.m. Contestants venue. Dover's room.
This. What is the meaning of this?
Ooh.
The desserts adorning the victim's room had disappeared without a trace. Was this the true killer's doing? A body that was hidden inside a dessert and a murder weapon that was moved. Further investigation would be required.
I'm confused them.
Further investigation would be required to arrive at the truth of this case.
I didn't realize that you had slipped.
I slipped into both at once.
Well, it's okay. We're hitting a to be continued, and I think we can just call it a night.
That's true.
Probably good, yeah.
I think they might even be throwing us into a time change.
Oh, okay. Because that was Adult Ray, the narrator, narrating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's probably good.
It's a good stop at time. Yeah.
And that's why I only listen to NPR.
Miles, baby, you are boring as fuck.
I feel like now he's branched himself out to the BBC, right? BBC News.
Oh, and he
Oh,
probably
correct,
also
yeah.
watches some of the specials there. Maybe like Downton. He probably watches Downton.
Edgeworth would watch Down Abbey, right?
Like
Well, because he loves Steel Samurai.
yeah, he
Oh
So-
yeah, that
he loves a good drama.
Are there enough swords in Downton, though?
I've never seen it.
I've only seen, like, the first episode of Downton Abbey.
I feel like there's no swords in Downton Abbey. If I'm gonna take
Yeah.
a wild guess, it's a TV show about property law.
Is it really?
Yeah, because my property law professor had us watch some clips of Downton Abbey, and she was like, "I love Downton Abbey because it's about fee-tail property law."
Oh, I thought it was mostly about the goings on of the manor.
I bet you
Like-
that's actually what it's about, but Michelle's professor was delusional.
Oh, leave it to a property lawyer to think something's about property law.
Property law, but it's about fee-tail because it's about the transfer of the property. You see, it's about
Oh,
the transfer
okay.
of the Downton Abbey, the abbey itself, after because I think it has to go to, archaic fee-tail laws that it has to go to, firstborn sons or whatever, blood relatives, whatever. So I believe that's an issue.
Yeah, I'm sure that is a plot. Or it's like the narrative frame, I guess, is like
Yeah,
who gets the manor, but then
but mostly it's about drama, I'm sure.
mostly it's about that sassy old lady.
Well, because
Man.
the episode I did see, they spent an alarming amount of it just talking about that Titanic business that just happened. Dreadful business, the Titanic.
Dreadful, yeah.
And
So anyway, I thought it was boring, and then my property law professor said it was about fee-tail, and I was like, I super am never gonna watch Downton Abbey now.
all right, fair.
There's nothing for me in Downton Abbey, I'll tell you that much.
That dreadful Titanic business, not luring you in.
The business of the Titanic, the movie, was not enough to lure me in. That's okay. Alright, well, we're gonna call it a night, guys. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Play Bug Snacks when it comes out.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually, at an undisclosed time in the future.
We'll see you before that happens, probably.
Oh, many times, I'm sure. But check out the trailer, I suppose. See if it interests you. That's my plug.
Now, watch the trailer for Kevin's game Bug Snacks.
It's good. Look at that trailer, it's fun. It's the music's by that person people like.
Right.
Anyways.
Well, it's not. I was gonna say it's not the composer of Phoenix Wright, so I don't know.
So nobody in this chat will have any interest.
I just can't wait till I get to the law part.
Mm,
In the meantime, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And that was Object to This.